Yo, what's poppin' YouTube fam? Welcome back to the channel where we keep it raw, we keep it real, and we definitely keep it hyped. And today buckle up because we are diving headfirst into a celebrity beef that's hotter than Miami in July. We're talking about the tangled web of drama between Lil Meech, 50 Cent, and the ever-present shadow of Rick Ross.
How did Lil Meech blow through the 5 mil that he made off BMF? They said that boy was buying every chrome heart made to man.
Man, things have just gone nuclear in this whole situation. Lil Meech, star of BMF, son of Big Meech, is caught in the crossfire, and it's looking like he's about to learn a seriously hard lesson about loyalty, money, and maybe, just maybe, who your real friends are in this cutthroat industry. At the center of it all, that OG beef between 50 Cent and Rick Ross, a rivalry that's been simmering for years, decades even, but now it's not just about them anymore. It's dragged in Big Meech, fresh out of prison, and his son, Lil Meech, who 50 Cent, let's not forget, basically made a star. Talk about a powder keg ready to explode.
You know, with 50, and if you know 50 or you've been around 50, everything is loyalty with 50. If you're loyal to him, he's loyal to you. And like Meech said, he'll take the shirt off his back for you, and he's helped so many people. And he'll help so many people in the industry that he never talks about. He's gave so many people money behind the scenes. So when people switch sides like that, there is no off.
See, it all blew up when Big Meech, after doing serious time, linked up with Rick Ross. That was the spark. 50 Cent predictably went ballistic, accusing Big Meech of snitching, throwing all kinds of shade. But the real shocker? How Lil Meech handled it, or rather didn't handle it. He tried to play both sides, straddling the fence, and ended up falling right off into a pit of drama and, according to some sources, a whole lot of regret. This ain't just your typical celebrity squabble, folks. This is about loyalty, betrayal, money, big money, and the very public unraveling of a young star who might have just fumbled the biggest opportunity of his life. So get ready, because we are breaking down every single layer of this messy situation. Let's get into it.
From what I've seen, because I remember when Lil Meech was rapping, nobody helped him, and then 50 put him in acting suit, kept it on the low, and he made all this money.
I wasn't going to address this, because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before dishonor, always with me.
Alright, so let's rewind to the beginning of this latest chapter of drama. When 50 Cent first started firing shots accusing Big Meech of being a snitch, Lil Meech tried to walk this impossible tightrope. He was texting 50, playing the loyal soldier, swearing he was still Team 50 even while his dad was cozying up to 50's sworn enemy, Rick Ross. Talk about trying to have your cake and eat it too. He was trying to smooth things over, telling 50, "Nah, this ain't my beef, I'm still with you, fam." He probably thought he could play peacemaker, keep both sides happy, keep his paycheck coming from 50, and still support his dad. But in the world of hip-hop beef, especially when 50 Cent is involved, there ain't no neutral ground, there ain't no Switzerland. You're either with him or you're against him. And Lil Meech was about to learn that lesson the hard way, because that whole act of loyalty, it lasted about as long as a Snapchat story. Poof, gone. Faster than you can say PowerBook via influence, because almost immediately after those supposed loyal texts to 50, Lil Meech does a complete 180. He's suddenly in Miami, cheesing hard, flexing even harder, and who's he posing with? Rick Ross, of course, and not just Ross, but the one and only Floyd Money Mayweather.
They charged me $200,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams. It's chunky, real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3 or 4 hours. My neck started hurting. You know, you might find a regular Cuban for 50 or for 100 maybe, but you know, it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3 just for the pendant. Right here, this is Antarctica. This is the big boy. This is pristine, call it Antarctica. This is the chandelier. That I might have seen DJ Khaled with this on. It's that big boy, you know.
How much is it gonna cost?
$2 million.
Floyd Mayweather, y'all. Another one of 50's biggest rivals, a guy who 50 has been going back and forth with for years. Lil Meech wasn't just hanging out with Ross. He was publicly aligning himself with Ross and Mayweather in Miami, no less, the ultimate flex location. It was a calculated slap in the face to 50 Cent, and everybody knew it. He wasn't just supporting his dad, he was actively choosing sides, and he was choosing 50's enemies. That tightrope act shattered into a million pieces. Now let's talk about Rick Ross for a minute, because he's playing a major role in this whole messy drama, and not in a good way. Word on the street is, and a lot of people are starting to see it now, that Ross was never genuinely trying to help Big Meech out of the goodness of his heart. Nah, that ain't Rose's style. It was all about the clout, baby. Pure and simple. Rick Ross saw an opportunity, plain and simple. He saw a chance to stick it to 50 Cent, to reignite their beef, and to boost his own profile by associating himself with the legendary Big Meech and the BMF brand. He knew linking up with Meech would get headlines, would get people talking, would get him back in the spotlight. It was a calculated power move, using Meech as a pawn in his ongoing chess match with 50. And Lil Meech and Big Meech, they walked right into it. They might have thought Ross was a genuine ally, someone who had their back, someone who was offering real support. But in reality, Ross was just using them to take shots at 50, to fuel his own agenda. And now that the initial hype has died down, now that the headlines have moved on, the Meeches are probably realizing they got played. Used for clout, then tossed aside. But honestly, you gotta have some sympathy for Lil Meech? Nah, not really, because even if Ross played him, Meech played himself way harder. Remember that BMF bag, the millions he made from starring in 50's show? Word is, he fumbled it, completely and utterly fumbled it. Blew through $5 million in just 3 years with nothing to show for it but designer clothes, jewelry, and a rumored whip it habit. $5 million gone. Just like that. Talk about a financial disaster class. So, Lil Meech posts that real power pic with Ross and Mayweather, thinking he's flexing, thinking he's getting under 50's skin. Oh, he definitely got 50's attention, alright. But not in the way Meech probably hoped. 50 Cent, the king of petty, the master of online warfare, was not about to let that slide, not for a second. 50 fired back instantly and with maximum savagery. He reposted that clip of Lil Meech with Ross and just went straight for the jugular. He clowned Lil Meech relentlessly, mocking that whole Miami flex. And then he dropped that line about sending Big Meech wings in prison. Yo, tell your pops I'm going to look out. What's the address? I'ma send him some wings over there. Pure, unadulterated disrespect. 50 was basically saying Ross's support was a joke, that Meech was down bad, and that all Ross was offering was some cheap fast food, cold-blooded. But that wings comment, that was just the tip of the iceberg. Because 50 wasn't just clowning Lil Meech, he was doubling down on his main attack against Big Meech, the snitching accusations. Remember, this whole beef started when 50 went full scorched earth, pushing this narrative that Big Meech was a rat, a federal informant, and he wasn't letting up, not even a little bit. 50 kept hammering home the snitch angle, posting memes, dropping supposed evidence, claiming he had court documents proving Big Meech cooperated with the feds. He was relentless, trying to cement this image of Big Meech as a snitch in the public consciousness. And while Big Meech denied it, while he tried to defend his name, 50's accusations were definitely doing damage, tainting Meech's comeback narrative, casting a dark shadow over his release from prison. 50 was playing for keeps and he was playing dirty. Now, caught in the middle of this explosive beef was Lil Meech, and when 50 Cent started blasting Big Meech with those snitching accusations, Lil Meech noticed something that sent a chill down his spine. 50 had unfollowed him on Instagram. Unfollowed. In celebrity beef world, that's like DEFCON 1. That's a public declaration of war. Lil Meech, realizing his main source of income, his BMF gig, was potentially in jeopardy, panicked. He immediately slid into 50's DMs, trying to do some serious damage control. He was texting 50, pleading his case, trying to clear the air, to salvage their relationship. And those texts, they were desperate to say the least. He was telling 50, yo, this ain't my beef with my dad. I'm still loyal to you. I ain't got no love for Rick Ross. F Rick Ross. He was throwing Ross under the bus, trying to distance himself from his dad's alliance, anything to appease 50. He even swore on his loyalty, saying, I would take my shirt off my back for you, 50. Don't treat me like an enemy. I've always been loyal. He was basically begging for forgiveness, trying to remind 50 of their bond, their past loyalty. But 50 Cent, ice cold, stone cold. He wasn't having it. He wasn't buying Lil Meech's desperate pleas, wasn't reciprocating that energy, wasn't offering any reassurance. Instead, he hinted very publicly that Lil Meech's role in BMF might not be so secure anymore, that his spot on the show was in danger. That's when Lil Meech, realizing his main money train was about to pull out of the station without him, decided to flip the script again and go full defiance mode. That loyalty act, gone. Miami flex with Ross and Mayweather, incoming. Now let's talk about why Lil Meech was so desperate to hold on to that BMF gig, why losing 50 Cent's favor was such a devastating blow. Because word on the street is, Lil Meech is broke. He blew through his entire BMF fortune in record time, living that flashy, unsustainable lifestyle. We're talking millions, y'all. Millions of dollars gone in just a few short years with nothing to show for it. No investments, no businesses, no smart financial moves. Just a mountain of designer clothes, iced out jewelry, and a party boy reputation. He was flexing custom Chrome Hearts jeans, bragging about dropping $2 million on a watch, while allegedly struggling to pay his bills. Insanity. And to make matters even worse, 50 Cent's G-Unit OG Tony Yayo just piled on the pressure, publicly calling out Lil Meech for his financial irresponsibility and his entitled attitude. Yayo went on Vlad TV and didn't hold back, saying Meech was acting like he was owed something, expecting handouts even from the likes of Lil Baby. Can you believe the audacity? Yayo said Meech was out here begging for cash while simultaneously dropping $100,000 on a pair of jeans, $100,000 on jeans while asking for handouts. The hypocrisy is mind-boggling. The disconnect from reality is staggering. But hold up, because here's where 50 Cent just dropped another absolute bombshell. Another truth grenade that just detonated this whole situation even further. According to 50, Big Meech, Lil Meech's own father, was actually jealous of the bond he had with Lil Meech. Jealous? Why? Because 50, in 50's own words, was a better father figure to Lil Meech than Big Meech himself ever was. And it doesn't stop there, because 50 wasn't done airing out Lil Meech's dirty laundry. 50 also claimed that Lil Meech was showing up to the BMF set high under the influence, jeopardizing the entire production, and that it was him, 50 Cent, not Big Meech, who actually stepped in to help Lil Meech get clean to address his substance abuse issues. 50 didn't just confront him about it, he allegedly paid for Lil Meech's rehab, footing the bill after finding out Meech was allegedly hooked on whippets, laughing gas. 50 even wrote in a since-deleted Instagram post, "I thought about it, so what's the real story here? Did Lil Meech fumble his own bag or was he just another pawn in the game?" Then 50 really laid it out. "I think he was uncomfortable with me and Meech's relationship. I'm telling Meech not to do drugs. He's telling him he used to do X like it's cool. I tell Meech to chill, stop spending all his money. He's telling him how much he blew." That's 50 Cent, unfiltered, laying out the raw, uncomfortable truth as he sees it. And it doesn't stop there, because people don't realize 50 was allegedly the one who had to send Lil Meech to rehab in the first place. According to 50, even actor Russell Hornsby, who plays Meech's dad on BMF, saw the issue firsthand when Meech showed up to set high as hell. It got so bad, 50 claims that Lil Meech actually started throwing up during a weapons test scene, completely unable to function. Then, 50 says, Ian, another crew member, told 50 that Lil Meech had whippets, nitrous oxide canisters stashed in his truck on set. 50's reaction? What the F *** is whippets? He had to Google it, look it up, and realize it's that same nitrous oxide, laughing gas that B and BB, his characters on Power, were known to use. So, where does Lil Meech go from here? He's burned bridges with 50 Cent, he's alienated fans, he's reportedly broke, and he's facing serious accusations about substance abuse and financial mismanagement. It's a complete and utter disaster. He's in full panic mode, realizing the magnitude of his mistakes, realizing just how badly he messed up. Sources say he's venting non-stop, furious at Rick Ross for allegedly playing him, for using his dad for clout and then disappearing when the smoke cleared. He's realizing Ross was never a real ally, never had his back. And now Meech is left picking up the pieces, facing a very uncertain future. He's reportedly scrambling to rebuild his image, reaching out to old industry connects, trying to convince people he's not down bad, that he still has big things lined up. But let's be real, ain't nobody buying it. Fans are saying he brought this all on himself, that he's reaping what he sowed. 50 Cent is radio silent, not offering any lifeline, and Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather are nowhere to be seen. Lil Meech is alone, facing the consequences of his choices. Woo, talk about a messy situation, right? This Lil Meech, 50 Cent, Rick Ross drama is a wild ride, and it's far from over. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Who do you think is in the right? Is there any hope for Lil Meech to bounce back? Let's get the conversation going. If you dug this deep dive into celebrity drama, make sure you smash that like button. Share this video with anyone who needs to hear this cautionary tale. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single update as this story continues to unfold. We'll be here, keeping it real, bringing you all the tea, all the drama, all the exclusive insights you crave.